Hiya folks, Sandro here with more cartoon news and shenanigans. And if you'd like more cartoon news and shenanigans, I'd ask you to please subscribe to my channel. In fact, do it right now so you don't forget about it later. And I thank you very much for that, guys. We're just like 10 subscribers away from 500. So if you want to subscribe, you know, the button's right there. Anyway, so today we're talking about He-Man, Masters of the Universe Revelation. I'm going to give my thoughts on it. We're going to discuss it. Is it good? The answer is no. It's not good. So I'll even tell you right now, I give it a 3 out of 10. I give it a 3 out of 10 before we get into it. What I wanted to tell you guys now is, so a lot of you had asked me before I watched He-Man, Masters of the Universe Revelations. You guys said, Sandro, don't watch it unless you go back and watch enough of the original 1983, the original cartoon. So I tried my best to watch as many of the episodes. So what I did was, this Masters of the Universe Revelation came out on Friday. I don't know how many days ago. It was the 23rd, I think, Friday the 23rd. So I actually ended up watching Masters of the Universe Revelation on Sunday. And the reason I did that was because so I could go online and look up all of the episodes without having, because there's 65, guys. There's 65 episodes of the original series. So instead of watching all 65, I saw a website and it said, here's all the episodes that you have to watch to understand who these characters are. And because this show doesn't explain who, like, some of the characters, like Roboto, and there's a scene of, like, He-Man riding the horse. What was the name of the horse? There's an old episode in the 1983 show where, like, they fight this, like, giant, like, evil wizard guy, and he's trapped in this, like, dimension made out of a fire ring. And that was the episode, The Horse. The horse gets blasted. It's a mechanical robot horse. It gets blasted with magic energy, and it actually comes to life. Like, it actually becomes a living thing. And we actually do see that in the He-Man Masters of the Revelation in the new series here. Something similar happens with Roboto. I'm going to go over that. And so I had to watch like a whole bunch. I think I did I say 26. I think I had to watch 26 episodes to like understand like everything of these 5 episodes that we got in Revelation. So yeah, I'm up to date, guys. So if anyone says, "Hey, Sandro, you don't know what you're talking about here. You don't know who these characters are." Now I do. I know. I'm fully equipped here, so I can do like some kind of review. Okay, guys, so without further ado, I'm going to start talking about it. But before we even get to that, all kinds of crazy shit's been going down with Kevin Smith. So if you guys don't know the story, if this is your first time ever kind of like stumbling across the He-Man Masters of the Universe Revelation, fiasco here, basically what happened was Kevin Smith, who, we've seen footage now that footage has been put online where, he even said that he's not a fan of He-Man. There's he had to come out and, address things because somebody found this old footage saying he wasn't like a fan of He-Man from like 2015. And then there was what was the other one? There was some other what was it? Like some other controversy where he said that he didn't start watching He-Man until 1981, but the show didn't actually even start airing until 1983. And then there was a whole thing where he had to come out and be like, "Hey guys, I couldn't remember the year that the show came out. I obviously just got it wrong." And so people are just going crazy. It's it's well deserved. Like, Kevin Smith has just not been great recently. He's been so bad. Kevin Smith has an upcoming show called The Green Hornet. Okay, guys. And I don't know if I'm even going to watch that now that it's associated with Kevin Smith, because this is a train wreck. I'm sorry. Yeah. Kevin Smith, I did a video on this like a year ago. Kevin Smith developing the Green Hornet animated series with Peanuts owner Wildbrain. And I'm just like, after seeing how he utterly butchered He-Man, I don't want to watch this Green Hornet reboot here. I don't want to watch this Green Hornet reboot. and yeah, so a lot of stuff has just been going wrong with Kevin Smith. Very, very wrong. And, you can see all these articles from all these YouTubers here. There's Kevin Smith himself. There's the quartering, Kevin Smith meltdown, brutal live stream, mocking. Yeah, and he's thrown some shade at Clownfish. So the whole gimmick with Clownfish was that they had a leaker, a very, very good internal leaker who came out and basically said, like Tila's girlfriend is like, what was her name? Andra. And they're in like a lesbian relationship, and that did seem to be implied here. And Kevin Smith literally said like, no, all these leaks that are, they're all wrong. Everything from Clownfish TV is wrong, and literally like everything they said, except did they kiss or anything? Did Tila and what was her name, Andra, whatever the hell her name was, that black chick, were they, it was implied that they were a lesbian couple, but did they actually kiss or do, they had some like glances at each other and all this kind of thing. So he's like, no, none of the, all those leaks were wrong, and Clownfish TV was 100% correct in their assessment. So Kevin Smith, he looks like a liar. He looks like a fake geek. I'm not impressed with him at all. Like, I can't recommend Masters of the Universe Revelation. I can't recommend people go watch the Green Hornet show that he's working on. He'll probably, like I said, he'll probably find a way to butcher that too. Here we have Geeks and Gamers, another great channel. Kevin Smith meltdown during live stream. And yeah, again, he had a live stream. He took another shot at Clownfish TV. What the hell's this one? Epic fail. Kevin Smith enlists Brie Larson. What the fuck? The quartering again. Kevin Smith says, grow the F up. Masters of the Universe. So Kevin Smith is just, Kevin Smith trolls the fans. Look, guys, it's just awful. Kevin Smith's handling of this whole thing has been a nightmare, a disaster, and it's just not a great look. I don't know how this man is going to get future gigs when he utterly destroyed He-Man. Like, this was really bad, guys. Like, the animation is really good, but it's time to get in here. It's time to talk about it. So this is episode one. And I'm going to put this little guy here just in case. And I'm just going to pause it. And actually, I'm going to start all the videos just so we can, I should have did this beforehand. Shoot. Okay, hold on. I'm going to start all the videos at once. And we're gonna go through them here. I'm just like briefly going to touch upon them. Okay, let's see. Okay, so I'm hoping I could just jump around. So yeah, here we go. We get a brief. You know what? I don't even need the hamster. We're only, I'm not going to be playing the videos. I'm just going to be showing you guys what happened and why it's such a bad show. So let me just get that character's name. So Andra. Okay, Andra. Is that her name? Andra He-Man. I believe so. So here's the character, right? So what they did, so this is the first thing before we get into it. I definitely want to mention this. Andra, this old character from the comic books, I believe, was blackwashing. Again, you can actually see here, this person says here, Eduardo Rivers on Twitter, hashtag Andra from Masters of the Universe is the latest victim of blackwashing. And do you notice something about, oh no, I was going to say, I thought she was a ginger, but she, blonde, that's close enough. Here's a reimagining of Andra, where she is a ginger. Yeah, so they have different, unless this is her, no. Is this, no, these are fake, those are fake, okay. Unless, wait, is it? Custom create? No, it's fake. It's fake. Okay. So she is blonde then. She is blonde. But, I was about to say I was about to get on the old, the ginger washing. Like, Hollywood has had this really bad problem with ginger washing. All of the gingers recently have just been turned into black characters because mud diversity, mud diversity. Man, I didn't grab a water before I started. Okay, but I should have grabbed the water. Shoot. But anyways, here, Andra from Masters of the Universe is the latest victim of blackwashing. White characters from the Kevin Smith reboot. Yeah. And there's another black character that they introduced in this show. We're going to talk about him in a bit. But let's get into it here. So it actually had a pretty good opening here. It just gives us a quick refresh of who all the characters are. And like I said, this black character, her name is Andra. She was in the comics as a blonde, I think. And or maybe she is I don't know. It's kind of like an orangey yellow, whatever. Maybe that's just the comics being washed out. But yeah, now she's all of a sudden, she's black. She's a lesbian. She's with this character. No, that's evil Lynn. This is Roboto, and this is Tila. I almost forgot her name there. I just watched the whole show. I just watched like 26 episodes of He-Man, and then I freaking watched the 5 episodes of this, and then I almost forgot Tila's name. Okay. Glad to see that I'm forgetting names still. Okay. So here we go. It just gives us a nice little intro, and this was probably it's all downhill from here. So this is the horse I was talking about earlier in the video. If you guys have haven't skipped ahead here. I talked about this is the horse, and I literally can't remember this horse's name, but there's an episode you have to watch it from the old show, and it had, like I said, it was this evil wizard. He's trapped in this other dimension with like a fire ring, and he comes, and it tells the backstory of the sorceress that episode, and this horse came to life using magic, so he's like a real living thing, and this does happen later in the show. So this is kind of like a good foreshadowing. This is, like I said, this is probably like some of the best like scene. This episode is the best one out of all 5 of them. Okay, guys, it's all downhill from here. Let's keep going. So this horse, he's not really important, but he was in the old show. You have to know that. So there we go. There's He-Man. No, this is not He-Man. So this is another throwback to an old episode. Skeletor in an older episode, he actually creates a clone of He-Man. He creates like a magical like decoy or whatever, and he calls him Faka. So this is kind of a throwback to that old episode. So again, this episode had a lot of like throwbacks to the original. One of the things I want to talk about is the voices in this new reboot. So I had to watch a whole bunch of the old episodes and then come back to this show, and hearing the voices, like I really like Mark Hamill, right? Mark Hamill. I really like him. He does a great, Joker. He's done a bunch of great voices in the past, but I do not think Mark Hamill did a good Skeletor. After watching the original, Skeletor was kind of like this. He always had this like high-pitched voice, like, He-Man, I am coming for you. Like, I am going to attack you, He-Man. He was like this like laughable, like jolly fellow, even though he was evil. And, I don't know. It's just, here, let me turn that off. That's pretty bright. I don't know. I didn't get the essence of Skeletor from Mark Hamill here. Mark Hamill, however you pronounce it. And like I said, I have a lot of respect for him. Mark Hamill, he does a great Joker, but some of the voices in this were really bad. He-Man's father, the king, I thought his voice was terrible. He didn't sound like a king at all. Some of the voices are just bad. And you know who has the worst voice of all? He-Man. He-Man has the word. He phoned it in. Guys. The He-Man actor in the old show, it was like this powerful, I have the power, like it was like that, like more, but you would hear this kind of echo, so it sounded even more powerful. It was like, I have the power. And this one, he just phones it in. He's like, I have the power. And it was so phoned in. Oh my God. Whoever did that, I'm not going to look it up, but whoever did the voice, okay, fuck it. No, okay. This video will go too long. You guys know, let me know in the comments, who the hell was the voice actor for He-Man? He phoned this one in. Holy shit. He did not put emphasis into his work, and I get it. It's the pandemic right now. Most of these people were just in like their own houses, probably recording these lines. So they're not going to be the greatest, but holy shit. The best. And speaking, so this is why I talked about this, because this character actually is one of the only characters in the entire show, alongside the evil demon creature in hell, which I believe was also Mark Hamill. Hamill, whatever. Again, I can never pronounce his name right. Mark Hamill, I think it's how it is. He voiced like this demon in the underworld. So that this character, Man at Arms, what's his name? Duncan, I think, right? Yeah, Duncan. These two were some of the best voice acted characters in the whole show. So now that we have that out of the way, let's. So we're talking around here. So the whole gimmick, it starts out with Teela. Being named. She has the honor of becoming the new Man at Arms, or I guess we're gonna say the Woman at Arms. And one of the reoccurring, oh my God, I almost said reoccurring weirdly. One of the reoccurring things in this He-Man special, or series, whatever you want to call it, Masters of the Universe Revelations, is that all of the male characters in the show are just unemasculated. They have their titles stripped from them. They just get fucking destroyed or die, or all of the male characters specifically are just obliterated. They're done a disservice, and it was on purpose. It was so clear. This is He-Man, guys. This is a show about a guy named He-Man. It literally, he and man are it's basically man, he and man. It's basically describing manliness. And this is the show we get. A show where women are all at the forefront in a show named He-Man. And all the male characters are just downplayed. They're treated like dog shit. They're killed off. It's just terrible. It's what they did to the male characters in the show. Fucking train wreck. And why I said at the beginning of the episode, I gave this a 3 out of 10. Most of that was from the first episode, which is very concerning. You should be concerned by that. As for the Queen, so the Queen in this series, I believe, I don't remember seeing an old episode about her. So in this new series, she actually knows that He-Man, one of the big things of the old show was that Prince Adam, never told anybody except Orco, the Man at Arms, which is Duncan here, the Sorceress, and wait, who was the other one that knows? Oh, the Tiger, Cringer. Cringer knows too. And Orco, right? I said Orco? Yeah, I think I said Orco. So those are the only 4 characters that know that He-Man is actually Prince Adam. Not even his parents knew that. But for some reason, unless there was an episode I missed in the old show, for whatever reason, all of a sudden, his mother kind of knows it now. I don't know what that's all about. If anyone could tell me, did I miss an episode of the old show? Or was this more just Kevin Smith fucking around with the formula? Because it feels like it. And yeah, so that one of the other things I'll talk about is Orco. So Orco, spoilers. Did I say spoil? Oh shit, I never said spoilers. This has spoilers. Spoilers. Orco, in the old show, he had a very chipmunk high-pitched voice. He was like, "Hey everybody, I'm Orco." He was a very, comic relief character for the children. In the old 80s show, they would always have some kind of comic relief character type of deal. You guys know what I'm talking about. But anyways, yeah, Orco was sort of this here's all this action, but here's Orco being Orco, and he's kind of like a magical jester. He's kind of like a magical jester here. But let's keep going. So in this new one, he does die. So spoilers. We're gonna talk about that later. So she becomes the new Man at Arms. So basically, Duncan is giving up his position, which is he said it's one of the proudest days of his life. But let's be real, this is literally Kevin Smith stripping a male character of their power. Basically, is what happened here. This is the fake He-Man and the source. So this was all a trick from Skeletor. He sends a fake He-Man to the sorceress. They attack. They have a huge army, and it's revealed. Yeah, so it was revealed that He-Man was just being a fake. This is the staff of shaping. I believe this came from the second or third episode of He-Man. I just watched that one, and what's really weird, I thought, oh my god, sorry guys, a little bit sick here. Let me grab water. One sec. Let me just grab some water. Okay, there we go. All right, so the staff of shaping, I believe this was destroyed at the end of the. Let's actually read up on it. I thought it. He-Man 1983 staff of shaping. I thought it was destroyed. I thought He-Man snapped it. The shaping staff, yeah. Also, there was an this evil Lynn. This is actually evil Lynn. She appears. She changed her like form to appear. And they do a throwback where Evil Lynn takes the guise of an old woman in the show. The shaping staff. Here we go. I thought it was destroyed. Shaping staff. It has its own page here. In the resulting battle, yes, He-Man sliced the staff in half, freeing all those it had changed. Evil Lynn attempted to use the remaining half of the staff, but all this accomplished was turning her into a bizarre snake-like creature. Yeah. So that's what happened in the old show. This is from, like I said, what was this? Episode 2? Episode 3? It was one of like the first couple episodes. But, yeah, shaping staff. So there it is. The shaping staff comes into play here. And for no reason, it is now silver. Also, and like I said, it was broken in the original He-Man. So where the fuck did they get a shaping staff? They don't even explain it. It's just like Kevin Smith is just kind of like, here's the fucking shaping staff. I really hope you guys remember this one. That's basically what Kevin Smith said here. It would have been great. Maybe this is a different shaping staff, but it's a different color. So wouldn't that be something else? I don't know. But this feels like bad writing from Kevin Smith. So shaping staff there, he changed. He was just, pretending to be He-Man. No, he was pretending to be a random goon, I think. Yeah. And then Men at Arms. So they go to He-Man. The entire gimmick here was Skeletor was going to capture the sorceress. So here we go. We have them talking. There's Skeletor. Is that the man at Arms? I don't know who that was. But anyway, the sorceress, they capture her. Let's move along here before this video turns into a frickin' hour long. It probably will, by the way. This episode's going to be an hour long. Probably. I don't know. But there's the sorceress. She's trapped. And we get this like weird kind of the sorceress contacts He-Man just as she's getting crowned Man at Arms. And the mother, this is what I'm talking about. When did the mother ever discover Prince Adam was He-Man? I have no idea. Let me know in the comment section down below if that was just Kevin Smith fucking the formula of only 4 people knowing. Orco being Orco, not being able to do magic very well. Let's see, what else we got here? We're moving right along. He transforms to He-Man, and this is what I was saying. This is his big moment, and he literally just says it like, I have the power, instead of saying it like, I have the power, like he doesn't like put any emphasis. It was like, the voice work on that. They needed better voice direction because this was not great. This was not great at all. So here we go. We have these two. I can't remember where these two were from. They're probably from an older episode. But Let's keep going here. That was the scene from the trailer, but okay. So we have all these Skeletor minions here. We got Evil Lynn. Evil Lynn takes steps up to the limelight here. And by the way, Evil Lynn is a main character in this fucking show, guys. So the He-Man show, let's talk here for a second. He-Man show is about actually just like 3 or 4 women, basically. Or three main women here. Evil Lynn, Andra, the black character that just randomly inserted herself into the story because Kevin Smith wants virtue points. Andra didn't need to be in this story. I don't know what the fuck. Basically, they just wanted to make characters into lesbians in a interracial relationship. It's basically how Legend of Korra, right? It was like, oh, now Korra and Asami are lesbians because nobody was watching our show. So they had to pull the old virtue signal, and it's just stupid here, guys. It's really stupid. So Evil Lynn and the gang you're going to see very shortly are the main characters. Not He-Man. No, we couldn't have, God forbid we have a show about He-Man, holy fuck. So here we go. We get the sorceress. So here's the weirdest thing. Like, I don't ever, maybe I missed an episode. Like I said, I don't remember this ever happening, but apparently underneath the Grayskull Tower, this was like some, what was it called? The Temple of, I don't know. Apparently the Grayskull was actually some other place, and it's not coming to, the name isn't coming to me. What was the name? The something of fortune, the temple of I don't know. I don't know what it was called, but it transforms into this white castle. There's this secret, like under whatever the hell, in the second floor of Grayskull. They trap the sorceress, and it was just like, I don't know where the hell they got this plot. Maybe it was in the old show and I just missed it, but I don't know what the heck. Apparently, out of nowhere, underneath Grayskull, there's a temple, and He-Man's sword is the key. And I don't remember any of this. Also, there was a Moss Man down here that was guarding the sort of like keystone to protect it from being inserted. We have our there's the keystone. You can see right there. All you have to do is put the sword in. Oh, it's just there. You have to put the sword in this like pyramid thing here. And there's He-Man with Battle Cat / Cringer. Yeah, so it was all a trick just to get, He-Man to put the sword in the stone, basically. So yeah. This Grayskull was just some like magical castle apparently the whole time. I don't know what the hell all that was about, but this is a great scene to showcase the animation. Great scene to showcase. It was like Bayonetta. He summons this giant like ball that he summons up this giant like purple sphere of shadows that like launches this hand. I thought this was some of the best and more interesting animation. Because, guys, you have to understand, I just came from the old show, and seeing all the old effects that were really terrible, the characters would just kind of like teleport away, and this show actually had spells that like actually did stuff, and they actually felt like spells. The old show had like very gimmicky, like, a character would use like a fireball and it would take like a minute to travel across the screen. And in this show, it's wild to just see the magic and all the attacks going so fast, compared to the old 1983 show there. Okay. Let's keep going here. So yeah, this is the first episode. He-Man, basically, he ends up killing the Moss Man, and then he goes and impales Skeletor. I don't know if we could get a good shot. Yeah, there's a good shot of him impaling. You can kind of see it from back here. So basically, there was this moss creature. I don't know. I guess I couldn't get a good shot of the moss creature, but there was like this moss. There's Evil Lynn fighting. But basically, like Skeletor, there it kind of is, I guess. Yeah, Skeletor is like burning this moss creature, whatever the hell this thing is. There he is. So he kills the protector. He's kind of like the protector of Grayskull's basement here. And, so Skeletor is pinned up against the wall and he burns him to death. He just kills him. That's it. And He-Man gets rage that he actually killed something and he wasn't able to protect the moss guy. So he stabs Skeletor through the chest. And so you can see there, He-Man just saw him burn that guy alive. And he's like, no, you're not getting away with this one. Skeletor stabs him through the chest. And he put his sword. And now this is like some BS level shit. He just happened to stab Skeletor right where the keystone was. It's bull, right? He just happened to stab him right in the keystone. The keystone opens up. It's the source. There's like a gems, or no, it's not like, it's like a pearl with like all the magic in it, some kind of like magic sphere or whatever. And it has all the magic in the universe. Eternia, I think it's called. Yeah, Eternia is like the land of what it's called in He-Man. So Eternia, it has all the magic in Eternia. With all the magic gone, it's not going to be great. But anyways, so yeah, He-Man, this bullshit happens, and here we go. This is was this Evil Lynn or Skeletor attacking the sorceress or with the ball? Yeah. Oh no. The sorceress actually had the power to turn back time here. I did see an episode from the older show where she had like a magic portal that could send them back in time temporarily. So this checks out. Her having time travel powers kind of check out. But yeah. So yeah, there we go. That happens. So she tells He-Man, like, you have a couple seconds to stop this. And He-Man does not stop it. He just dies. Him and Skeletor just fucking die right here. There's the big reveal that, the magic kind of like drains him. And then it's revealed that Prince Adam actually was He-Man. So we get that reveal. And then here we go. Yeah, so here's this fortress. I don't know what the hell. So the entire time, like, Grayskull was like I don't know, what was it called? The Fortress of Eternity? I can't remember the name that they gave it. But it turns into that White Castle there. And that's it. He-Man, Skeletor, they kind of just die in this like weird magic explosion here. And we can confirm that it did kill He-Man. It absolutely killed He-Man. Also, somehow, Skeletor lived this. I don't fucking understand, but, Skeletor in the old show had teleporting powers, so I guess. But, apparently it destroyed, like, 90% of, like, Skeletor, but he was able to put his soul in Evil Lynn's staff. And he was able to survive, very briefly survive in the staff. But that's stupid. I don't know. That's kind of bullshit. Like, Skeletor just kind of got away scot-free while He-Man died from the blast. That's kind of questionable. But, yeah, there's the fortress. So, this bitch... Oh, my God. Teela. Okay, so, by the way, you want to see what Teela used to look like? Teela. This is what Teela used to look like. I really, really liked her old designs better. I mean, her hairstyle, I liked how more vibrant. Here, she looks more like a brunette. It doesn't look that red, right? It looks more brunette. I really like this design here. That's a great design. Yeah, I think this is from one of the other shows, but I think, like, she looks red there. This is after a time skip, but man, I do not like this image, or I'm not a fan of this design here. It's very saturated. It's very, I don't know. It's not a great design. Some of the designs in the show are really good for this remake here, but some of them were just like Teela, where they just kind of look a little washed out with the hair. Right, that looks more brown than red. But they do fix it later on. So there we go. The mother, everybody in the kingdom finds out. Man at Arms, the original Duncan. His name is Duncan, right? Yeah. He gets banished from the king. So here we go. All the male character. Teela also was pissed off that Prince Adam never told her that he was He-Man. Okay, so she's pissed off, and it's just a whole thing, man. It's just a whole thing. It's very bad. It's very, very bad. So he banishes him here. You can see him pointing his finger. He's banished, It's just a whole thing. He's pissed, the king just found out that Prince Adam died. He's pissed off. He banishes Duncan to where God only knows where, and he also forbids him from making weapons and armor. He's not. If anybody catches him making armor or whatever, he can go. He could get beheaded or killed or whatever. He does mention that later. He's like, hey, if I'm caught making something, I could be. But he makes it anyway. At that point, they don't even give a shit. So here we go there. Okay, so we have a male character. So here we go. He-Man dead in the first episode. Prince Adam, his alter ego, dead. And here we have Teela making a farce of it. Like, Prince Adam never told me he was He-Man. So now the entire show is about Teela going on like a freaking tirade of being a bitch. This is basically the entire show. Teela just being a bitch. And Man-at-Arms, Duncan gets his title stripped, so he's a bitch too. We can't have any of these pesky men doing anything notable, and then the episode just ends there. Let's go to episode 2. Oh, whoops, I almost hit play there. Episode 2, here we go. So this one, it starts with a time skip. There's a nice picture of Castle Grey. I do like the animation. I always have to give the animation credit here. So there we go there. This is years later. I don't know how many years later. I wasn't paying attention. Maybe I missed it. I think it's around like 10 or 20 years later. It has to be something like that. Probably like 10 years, right? It makes sense, like 10 years, 10, 15. So now Teela is with her partner in crime out of nowhere, Andra. This guy doesn't really stick around for long. But basically, they're mercenaries. They're basically like rogues doing some like, they're doing these fetch quests, basically. They're doing like fetch quests from an MMO RPG. And this is Andra, the character that just realistically didn't need to be here. I feel like this character just came out of nowhere. They have a moment in a bit where she's like, other things don't mean as much to me as you do, Andra. And they have like a sexual tension scene there, which really implies that they're lesbians, in my opinion. Absolutely. Anytime you have a woke, a person like Kevin Smith who's going for virtue points, even if it's implied slightly, absolutely. They're always going to go for the virtue. They don't give a shit about the old characters. They don't give a shit about the old fans, honest to God. And by the way, so she went from that terrible design to the age-old, the woke side. What do you call it? The one side of the haircut, woke haircut. I don't even know what the hell you call this thing. My name for it is the woke wig. I call it the woke wig. Okay, guys? That's my official name for it because I never know what the hell this haircut style is called. But basically, it's that same goddamn haircut style where like half the head's shaven, half the head is this garbage. I'm a strong woman. It's one of those ones. I'm a stunning and brave woman. I have to have this haircut to show everybody how stunning and brave I am. As for her, I talked about it earlier. Where was it? Andra. Here we go. This is what Andra used to look like. So they took where is it? Here. No. Here we go. They took the green and the brown, and they kind of just, I guess the gold is kind of a reference to her hair there. So they try to incorporate some of the things. I mean, I would have, why do you even need this? This character added nothing, zero. This character added zero to this show, guys. Zero to the show. And I think she was a terrible addition. I think they should have honestly, everything this character did should have been replaced by like Orco. Or no, what am I even saying? Scrap this entire plot line and do something with He-Man. What the fuck am I even saying? So these are our two main characters going forward in the show that used to be about He-Man. So I mentioned earlier about the staff of shaping and how in the old show, evil Lynn would appear to people as this like old woman. And, apparently Tila knew all along. There's her god awful shaved head because, God, what a terrible haircut. The woke wig haircut. That's what I'm calling it. It'll catch on. The woke wig haircut. The woke wig, because it just looks like a bald person wearing a fucking wig that looks like woke as shit. Okay. Anyway, so here, this old lady, this was from directly from the old show. It was a reference. She appears to them, but she's actually just evil Lynn. She knows it. Tila knows it. Here we go. We gotta cut back to He-Man. So they do in every episode they do show He-Man, but it's always like a flashback or she has to fight something or whatever the fuck. I don't know. It's just terrible. And here we go. They're fighting. This was the most interesting thing in this episode. But like I said, so episode 1 was the high point. It's all downhill. Guys, like it does not get better from here. But this is probably one of my favorite things. So one of the old villains, and the name, was it Triclops maybe? I can't remember what the heck his name was. This was one of the old villains, and he started, so all the magic in Eternia, the blast that killed Skeletor and He-Man, actually took all the magic away from Eternia. And, or almost all the magic. There's still magic out there, but very, very little. It's drying up slowly. And so this character, which I think was named Triclops, was it okay, hold on. He-Man Triclops, I think. Yeah. His name was, did I spell it right? Triclops with a K. You got to use a K. So this is what he appeared in a couple episodes I watched. Triclops, and he has like a triangular, this rotator, this thing on his head rotates around. Very cool. I like the character design. Anyways, where was I here? So yeah, he starts his own. This character never had magic powers, so he takes the opportunity to start a technology religion. He makes a religion out of technology. I thought this was one of the coolest things out of the whole show, but like when this is the coolest thing out of the whole show, that's a miserable failure. I'm sorry. Fucking Triclops starting a religion is the best point of like this whole episode, and that's about it. So yeah, he's making people drink this like these like cybernetic nanites, I guess nanites, and they drink it out of the chalice, and they actually get like cyborg implants, and then they can like use technology and stuff. So that's what happens here. Him and his daughter end up drinking it. They're spying on Triclops, whatever. They get the chalice back. The old woman sent them to get the chalice or whatever the hell, and then so there you go. He drank the nanites. You can see the eyeball there. And then they have a fight, and apparently Tila is so powerful that she can throw a shuriken that is able to pierce metal and activate a button. Like Tila, that regular like sized girl, that regular sized girl who was able to throw a shuriken that was able to pierce metal and cause the entire suit. I don't believe that. I'm sorry. I'm a grown man that like lifts weights. I'm not the most fit guy here, but I actually do lift weights. And if you were to give me a shuriken, I don't think I'd be able to pierce through a fucking armor with metal, made of metal. Okay, guys, I don't think I would have been able to do it with a shuriken. I'm sorry. So this is just bullshit right here. Who was it written by? Kevin Smith. So, would we be expecting garbage writing like this? Of course, we should be expecting that. So yeah, there you go. They get through it here. They get the little like what was it? The goblet or chalice or whatever the fuck. They get it. And then she reveals that she's evil Lynn. There we go. And the sorceress is old now, and she gives them like the last of the power. So the show is about the sorceress. Oh, one of the things I forgot to mention in the old show, and I think it's the 7th episode, maybe, I don't know, something like that. We find the backstory. So Tila, no, not the backstory. we find out that Tila is actually the sorceress's mother. So the sorceress is Tila's mother, essentially. But nobody, at the end of the episode, the sorceress uses her powers to mind wipe Tila's memory. So Tila doesn't know that the sorceress is her mother. And she tries to tell her, but Tila's just a bitch, or she gets interrupted, or one of those things. Every time, like, I think the man at arms tried to tell her that, the sorceress is her real mother. I think He-Man at one point tries to tell, but every fucking time Tila is, she's a bitch here. She's like, I don't want any more secrets, or they get interrupted. I can't remember. Tila is just a bitch. Okay, there's no scooting around it. I'm not a fan of Tila in this show by any stretch of the imagination. Evil Lynn, I like the old voice actress of Evil Lynn was really good. I think this woman did a good job also, but the original definitely the original Evil Lynn actually sounded more evil. This Evil Lynn sounds more British than evil. The other one was like, she reminded me of like Yzma from The Emperor's New Groove, where she actually had this like evil cackling kind of witch voice. Whereas this Evil Lynn is just like a more of a nefarious sounding British woman, and it wasn't as great as the original Evil Lynn, but yeah. So they have a little bit of a spat here, a little bit of a spat. There's the magic orb that I think was inside of the chalice, and inside of Evil Lynn's staff. Don't forget about this because it's important. Skeletor just had a portion of his soul in there. So he was just secretly watching this, I guess, was he? I don't even know. I don't know, but apparently Skeletor was just powerful enough to survive the blast, even though He-Man wasn't. It was just stupid garbage. Okay, so here we go. So the sorceress, she hasn't, there's no more magic, so she's becoming old, right? If she had magic, she wouldn't be aging. And also, this is convenient too, because it was revealed in the old show that the sorceress has red hair. And so now she's an old woman. Her hair is all ghost white, so Tila wouldn't recognize that, she's her mother. So they kind of, dodged a bullet there, I guess. So Evil Lynn. So here we go. We have the 4 main characters, all women. They're all women. God forbid we have a man do anything noteworthy in a fucking show called He-Man. My God. So here we go. There's Cringer, fucking around. Do they take Cringer with them? I can't remember. Yeah, I think they do, right? Yeah, they do take Cringer. But there you go. Like, this is the fucking cast of the second. Look, guy, we're 2 episodes in. The first episode started out decent enough, but it starts out with the man at arms, losing his role to Tila, which I guess is cool. It's his daughter, but he's being, he loses his rank as a man, and then he gets banished anyway. Not only did he lose his role to Tila, he also just gets banished. Fucking no man in this entire, even the fucking Cringer is just, I guess Cringer is probably like one of the only ones that has a better voice actor than the original. In the original, he was just a very scared, like, he sounded like Snagglepuss. He's like, I'm scared even, like one of those kind of, it was one of those. But yeah, here's our main characters. We have Antra the Blackwashed. We've got Tila the Woke, of the Woke Wig. We've got Evil British Lynn. And we've got the elderly person sorceress alongside Cringer, who just really doesn't do much in the show anyway. So I guess he's just an object in the background at this point. So there's episode 2. Now we're on to episode 3. Episode 3. So in this episode, they make you get to see Beast Man. You get to see the old. Oh, what was the name of the water guy? I can't remember the name. He-Man villain water. Let's see. What was the name of him again? The water guy, Merman. Yeah. Wow. How could I forget that? Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy. Okay. So yeah, Merman makes his grand reappearance. There's Merman. Oh God, what have they done? So that's what Merman used to look. I think, he looks decent in the reboot, I guess, right? What do you guys think? That's not bad. I mean, it looks cool, I guess. It still looks weird. It still looks a bit weird. So there's Merman. We get a flashback of He-Man and Teela fighting in the past. Who even gives a shit? This is the Teela show. There we go. So there's Teela. They go to the village and they find Teela's father, Duncan, the man at arms. They're in line trying to get some last drops of magic here at a fountain. The fountain is destroyed. Triclops comes and he gets his ass handed to him by the whole team. And then Beastman, the old villain from Beastman seems to be implied to have had a relationship with evil Lynn, I guess. Earlier in the second episode, I didn't talk about it, but evil Lynn mentions that you shouldn't waste your time with men. She says that. She's like, I've had my fair share of dangerous men. And she's like, you're better off not even bothering, well, little does she know that they're lesbians together, probably. Very, very much implied that they're lesbians. So yeah, evil Lynn literally telling people watching the show, don't even bother with men. What's the point? Why should we even get married? Fuck children. We don't need a future generation. So yeah, trash writing as usual. And also it seems to be that Beastman and evil Lynn had some kind of fling. That's what I got. I interpreted it that way. That's what, when she talks about having, getting involved in like dangerous men, I took that as meaning, I thought they were like referencing Beastman being like a lover of her potentially. And in the entire show, Beastman protects evil Lynn like 3 separate times. Like, he just like follows her commands, like no problem. So you have a Beastman that's a whipping boy for evil Lynn, basically doing whatever she says. And the rest of the gang. And then Duncan finally appears, and he has a little hut. And the reason he was getting magic water is because Orco is dying. Orco doesn't have enough magic. So he's feeling very gray. Yeah, he's feeling very gray. Let me grab some water. Orco not feeling well, This is one of those end games. I'm not doing so well, Mr. Stark. and then he's going to fade out of existence. No, that's not how it happens, guys. Orco dies, but I think it's in the next episode, actually. Okay, so Orco, he gets his power back. Like I said, Orco's voice actor, in the old show, he was a very high-pitched fellow. They toned down the pitch, and he feels much more lukewarm of a character now. He's not crazy. He doesn't feel like this like crazy magician that's always laughing and going crazy. He just feels like a very depressed Orco that's not that happy, and he even cried. Yeah, that was actually a little bit sad. He does like cry, but whatever. It's I didn't really care too much for Orco, I gotta say. Whether it was the old show or this show, I'm just not the biggest Orco fan. I think Skeletor is probably my favorite character. But yeah, obviously He-Man also. But there's Evil Lynn. So yeah, they're gonna make they're basically gonna forge. They're on a quest. Okay, the sorceress told them in the last episode. I didn't mention this, but they have to forge. They have to go to heaven. They have to go to heaven and hell to get the 2 blades. There's in the original He-Man, there was like an episode where there's these 2 like Indian or like Aboriginals, and they put on these masks, and then they found out at the bottom of Snake Mountain, there was a sacred sword that had like mystic powers, and then He-Man merged. The sword can talk, and the sword is literally just like the sword says some shit like, "It was my destiny to merge with a fabled sword," and then it merges. So in the old show, the old He-Man's old sword is actually two magic swords combined into one. And it was apparently, I read about it, and it never comes up again in any of the episodes that those two swords merged. So Kevin Smith tried to do something with that old episode. So the whole gimmick here is that He-Man's sword is like a yellow one that can be found in heaven, and then Skeletor's, like, I guess there's this purple kind of, the half sword is in hell. So they have to go get those, and but somebody has to forge them back into He-Man's sword, so they can call upon the power of Grayskull and, restore magic to Eternia. Because if they put the sword back into the that pyramid thing, all of the magic in Eternia will come back. So this is the whole plot. And I'm just like, why though? Like, what? You should have just made this about He-Man. You could have done any plot ever. You could have done any plot you wanted to, and this is the fucking plot you went with. Such a weak garbage plot. So anyway, Orco's dying. Evil Lynn has barely any magic left. Roboto, this is from the old show also. And he basically, because he has the memories of Duncan, the Man-at-Arms, he is able to forge the sword because Duncan doesn't come along for the ride because he's an older guy now. He's getting up there in years. So they send Roboto, again, from the old episodes there. Okay, and so he puts on his old helmet. And he kind of like helps them along anyway, but there you go. You can see he's a little bit old and disheveled. He's the best voice actor in this whole show. Absolutely. So there we go. We get the staff here. Now they're out in the open. I think Evil Lynn actually looks better without her whatever the hell that helmet is. So we're here. They're in the entrance. They're trying to get to the entrance of hell, and then Merman comes back. And, so they get ambushed here, and there's the modern day. The other merman that we saw was from like 10 or whatever, however many years ago. So they end up defeating Merman with the help of Duncan. Duncan kind of like stalls and gives them some time here, and they were able to do it, and that was it. And then Duncan, I guess he goes back to his house, wherever the hell that was. Or does he come along? No, he doesn't come along. No, he went back. He went back to his house. That's right. Okay, so here we get our team. And they go to the entrance of hell. And this is basically where it ends. And then episode 4, aka the episode where Orco died. Let's take how many? So this is an hour long now. Oh boy. Okay. So then we basically go here. We're in hell, and each of them have to face their fears. Okay, so this is what happens. Now, Mark Hamill voices. Did I say it right this time? Mark Hamill. Hamill? Okay, I can't. I'll never get it right. God damn it. I think I said it right there for a second, and then I got it wrong again. Okay, Mark Hamill. He voices the underworld skeleton, and I think he did a good voice on that character. I don't think we get too much about that character. Tila asks him if he's Skeletor, and he says no. So I don't know if that's like Skeletor's like father or like what the hell's going on there, but yeah. So Evil Lynn and Orco's back in his homeland. Somehow they got, it's, I think it was just an illusion though, right? Yeah, it was just an illusion. But Orco and Evil Lynn have a heart to heart, and they tell, Orco tells her that he used to be named Oracle because his parents thought he was going to be very powerful, but he was a small kid. So instead of saying Oracle, he says Orco. And his parent, everybody just accepted him as this incomplete kind of character who isn't good at magic. So there you go. So I think at least they tried to give Orco some kind of like backstory, so he was more important than he was in the past. But yeah. So then Roboto finds out that that they're in hell, and all of these demon creatures keep taking the form of their biggest fears. So Andra, apparently her biggest fear was like zombies because they turn into zombies. But Roboto, he's actually just a robot, and he can't feel fear. He can't feel fear. So he's able to see the demons for what they really are, and that helps them get out of it. So all of them have... So this is the character right here. This character is pretty badass. It's like some kind of, she asks him if he's Skeletor. Nobody really... Who is this character? I don't know. He's really cool, though. I think he's a really cool guy. Really cool character. But guess what Tila's biggest fear is? So all the other kids. So Andra's biggest fear is that zombies. Orco's biggest fear was that he just wasn't good at magic, and he feared that he couldn't ever live up to his parents' expectations of being this great oracle wizard kind of character. Also, Evil Lynn. They don't really... What was Evil Lynn's fear? I don't know. Did they say what Evil Lynn's fear was? I'm not 100%. Beastman also did. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention too much. But guess what freaking Tila's fear is? Tila's fear, and get this one. You're gonna believe you won't believe this one. So all the other characters have rational fears. Tila's fear is that she's actually the bestest person ever, and she has all of this power inside of her, but she doesn't know what to do with it. That is her fucking fear. Her fear is that she's a Mary Sue, and she just doesn't know how to tap into her full potential. Get the fuck out of here with this trash writing. This is a dumpster fire. Holy shit. Trash. Fucking trash. Okay, so here we go. They talk about their feelings some more. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, and then... I don't know. I forget what Evil Lynn's fear. Was it like spider? I don't know. What the fuck? I don't know. They didn't really give the best explanation on the fear stuff here, but... there she's fighting He-Man, no problem, by the way. And here we go back to this shit. So they get rid of the zombies. Maybe that was Evil Lynn's fear, giant beasts. Actually, no, her main fear is probably just men. Just men that are too powerful. That's probably her biggest fear. So she has to kill all of them. So there we go. So He-Man technically appears in every episode, but every time he appears as in the past, or as a doppelganger, or as a illusion. So I guess that Kevin Smith knew that if he didn't do this, people would have raged even harder, even though it's everybody already hates Kevin Smith. But imagine if He-Man, literally after he died, imagine if there was no flashback in the previous. Imagine if they just went 4 episodes with no He-Man, right? So he had to put He-Man in there as a kind of a, please don't hurt me. Please don't hurt me. I'm Kevin Smith. So there we go. Tila actually took a punch, but then, nobody even gives a shit. She's able to use her powers of mysticism and just fucking whatever the hell, just get out of here. And then Orco's able to awaken his powers. Finally, he's able to awaken his powers and become a full-fledged, oracle sorcerer, or whatever the fuck he is. What a cool character. Yeah, this must be Skeletor's father or something. I don't know. Grandfather? But I don't know what the heck. But, that is disgusting. What the fuck is that? Ew. I'm attracted to women normally, but I'm not feeling any kind of attraction to whatever the fuck that face is. Holy shit. Okay, so then we get Orco. He's making all the magic happen. He's saving the day here. Let's see. So they're able to fight him off for a little bit, but he's not completely out of the woods. And then you see he comes back. He uses a spell and traps their feet. Wait, I don't know if you guys saw that. He comes back and he uses a spell that traps their feet in stone. It kind of like wraps their legs with stone. It was a cool spell. I think that was a cool spell. But so now they're trapped, and the only one who could save them is Orco. So Orco dies, but interestingly enough, he is at full power, right? So we never actually see Orco die. Like, there is an explosion, but I mean, fuck, if Skeletor in the final episode revealed that he was able to, like, put a portion of his soul in the staff, I'm just out here like, come on, what the fuck? I don't know. So they kill or they allude to the killing of Orco. There's like a 99% chance Orco is dead, but he did unlock his full power. So maybe he was able to survive, but he would still be trapped in hell. So I don't know what the heck's going to happen with Orco, but probably nothing. He probably died. I'm assuming he died. Like I said, there's 5 more episodes of this show coming out in I think next month or something, or I don't know when the hell those episodes are coming. But actually, let's look it up. Masters of the Universe Revelations Wiki. Let's find out. Let's see, episodes. So there's 5 more episodes. Where are those ones coming? Casting. Let's see here. The first season is set to be released in 2 parts. The first part premiered on Netflix on July 23rd, 2021. So we don't know. I'm assuming it's coming. I think they just took the 10 episodes and they're just going to put them a couple months apart or something. So I'm sure it'll probably come out by the end of this year. But yeah, so July 23rd, that was 3 days ago. Today's the 26th. And the first season, yeah. So the first season, they're gonna make more of this dog shit. Oh Lord. So Orco, if this is a show that gets a second season, Orco could come back. Like I said, he did just unlock his full power. So maybe his scarf was burned in the explosion, but we never seen his body, completely. I don't know. He could survive. If Skeletor could survive, this guy could survive. So here we go. We see, Orco does one final boom, and he's able to stop him. But like I said, Orco could have survived. They end up making a gravestone. So then they are able to get through the portal. This is the portal into heaven. Okay, so they're in heaven now, and there's only one way out of heaven, so they're going to have to get out. And basically, they see Prince Adam. Prince Adam appears. They make a grave for Orco somewhere. Or is that in the next episode? I don't know. But yeah, and then one more episode. Let's just get through this shit. How long is this video? 1 hour and 8 minutes. Let's go. Okay, and so evil Lynn, like I said, she looks better without her headgear on, I think. So this is the grave. They made a grave for Orco with a little piece of his scarf that blew out. There you go. Evil Lynn put her helmet down because they just had one bonding moment. And I just want to take this time to point out that Orco, another male character, died. And of course, there's one more death for I guess you could say Roboto is perceived to be a male, even though he's mostly just a robot. But he has a male voice actor. I'm pretty sure he does anyway. Roboto is intended to be a male, so he also dies in this episode, as we're gonna see in a little bit. So they get the sword from Adam, and they have the sword they just got from Hell. So they have to get Roboto to forge them. Okay, so then we also get this is a throwback to an older episode with the discs. So this character, I don't see. I must have missed something because I didn't recognize this character. He must have been in one of the older episodes that I just didn't happen to watch. The website, I read a website that said, like, here's the episodes you have to watch, and I guess I must have missed something there because I just don't know who this is. But they're going to forge. Roboto is going to have to sacrifice himself to forge the swords in this room. And they have a bonding moment here with freaking He-Man and what's her name there? Teela. They have like a little bonding moment, and she's bitching that like Prince Adam never told her that she was He-Man. So, you know, she basically came to heaven to bitch at Prince Adam. Fantastic writing. Then we find out that He-Man was not the first person to have the sword, and to not, you know, he wasn't the first person to summon the powers of Grayskull. Turns out this guy is actually Grayskull for no reason. What the fuck? I'm just like, what? Why would Grayskull is a person now? I don't know. I always thought Grayskull, they called it Grayskull because it was just a place that had a skull. But apparently Kevin Smith was like, no. Kevin Smith said, hey, you know, it'd be cool if Grayskull was actually a person who was basically just a bigger, buffer, and blacker He-Man for no reason. For the diversity, I guess. You know, got to have your virtue signals in there. There's literally no reason that Grayskull should have been a person. I don't understand what the fuck. So basically they named, like, the gimmick was that, like, they named Grayskull after, like, him or some shit like that. Grayskull, like, why? What did this accomplish? I don't understand. And he doesn't even, like, he's just there for one episode. He doesn't really do anything. Just silly writing. Just silly writing. It's nonsense. Basically Grayskull, the living incarnate of Grayskull, he tells He-Man that if he decides to leave heaven and go back to Earth, or sorry, not Earth, if he decides to go back to Eternia, then actually, that would have even been a more exciting episode. In the older show, He-Man's mom is actually from Earth. She explains that she was like an astronaut or some shit, and she went on a mission. We get a whole explanation there. And, you know, she tells, we see her like flipping through channels, telling He-Man about what planet Earth was like. That would have been a cool, instead of making this garbage story, it would have been cool to see Earth, I think so, right? You know, to see He-Man go to Earth or something. I don't know. That sounds like it would have been cooler, but we don't get that. So they are going to forge the swords, and basically Grayskull said, hey, if you leave heaven, you can't come back, buddy. And obviously He-Man is going to leave heaven, so there we go. They forge the swords. Roboto, they have a heart-to-heart here. The Moss guy gives, basically convinces him to just go, gives him some advice, and then here we go. Roboto, we have our final moments with Roboto, and because he forged a magical item, just like the horse in the old show, the horse that came to life because it was hit with magical energy. Roboto comes to life, sort of, and he was able to feel emotion. And then he dies because he's a man. We can't have one of those pesky mans in a show called He-Man. Fuck no. So all the male characters basically just get fucked in this show. If you're a man, you know, I'm a man watching this show, and all I seen was women. They might have just called this she-woman, you know, She-Ra, you know. Holy fuck. It was just, this was a joke. This entire show was just a fucking joke. I'm sorry. It was just a fucking joke. Anyways, terrible writing, and they forge it together. They're able to leave here. He goes through heaven. They return. they return, and then as soon as they return, fucking Adam almost dies again. So there we go. They return to the fortress of whatever the fuck it was called. Cringer and Adam, they have a nice little reunion there. They're about to put the sword in the stone and return magic to Eternia. But then, plot twist, Skeletor was a lot. Oh, no, that's evil Lynn. Plot twist. Skeletor, just before they were able to, they do get I think they get the magic back, but just before they do that, Skeletor comes the fuck out of nowhere for no reason. I think the entire writing was terrible, that he was in the staff the whole time. It was just kind of bull. So Skeletor basically kills Adam, who literally just left heaven for like 2 seconds, and he's already dead. He's already dying again. They cannot give any of the men in this show a fucking break. Holy shit. So he's already dying. He's already dying. And then Skeletor, this is how the show ends. Skeletor grabs He-Man's sword and says, I have the power. Yeah, Skeletor. Yeah, but he doesn't have the voice of the old Skeletor. I really just love the old Skeletor's voice. He sounded more, I don't know, something about that old school Skeletor voice was just really, it reminded me of Waluigi or something. I don't fucking know. So yeah, there's that. And then he goes, I have the power. And then for some reason, he is able to turn into whatever the fuck this is. Skeletor, he's able to absorb the magic from the sword and become some like super He-Man Skeletor hybrid creature thing. What a stupid fucking, this entire thing. I'm so sorry, guys. It's just fucking garbage. If you're a fan of He-Man and you don't like me like trash talk, I'm sorry. It's trash. It's just trash. What the fuck was this? Like, there's 5 more episodes of this. What more can they do? Like, what more can they do to destroy the men? Is Skeletor gonna die next? Like, again? Is he gonna die in 2 seconds? I can't even imagine what they're gonna fucking do to destroy all of these characters in the next 5 episodes. They'll probably make like Man-at-Arms is a gay. He-Man's gonna be gay. Skeletor was actually boning dudes. Who knows? Who even fucking knows? What other characters haven't they destroyed at this point? How many other characters were there in He-Man that they haven't touched, that they haven't broken down at this point? The King and Queen are going to be like transgenders or something. Who the fuck knows? It's Kevin Smith. He's just going to fucking destroy your childhood. That's about it, guys. That's all from me. I'm so sorry. This was an hour and 17 minutes. Let's stop recording. Maybe, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do a quick chop up. I'm going to upload this video, and then I'm going to do a quick fire version of this, because this is an hour 17 minutes. Nobody's going to watch this to the very end. Nobody's going to watch this whole thing to the end. So I'm going to chop this up into like 10 or 20 minutes and see if we can make a much quicker video out of this video. But if you wanted to watch the full video, here you go. This is the full video. So the end, 3 out of 10 trash. 3 out of 10 trash. The entire, like I said, you could have made it this show about He-Man going to Earth. You could have done a show, He-Man's mother is from Earth. Maybe she gets a distress signal. There's some kind of magic power on Earth. Aliens are invading on Earth. No. Let's do some fucking bullshit. Let's make Grayskull into a big black dude for no reason. I don't know what the fuck that was about. Andra got blackwashed. Tila was basically a bitch the entire time. Roboto, man, dead. He was a male robot that got fucked. Orco, possibly dead, probably dead. Let's be real. He-Man he dies, comes back, almost bitches out a second time. And then Skeletor gets the He-Man power because apparently fanboys might think that would be cool. And this is the entire show, guys. It was just shitty. I'm so sorry. It was shitty. I don't care what, I've seen the Rotten Tomato scores, and apparently they're getting review bombed. Let's see. Masters of the Universe, Rotten Tomatoes. They were apparently getting review bombed, allegedly. No, and look, they gave it about the same score. This is my actual score. I gave it 3 out of 10. 3 out of 10. The critics are all I don't think, you know what? I don't think, though, went out of my way. Okay. I didn't have to watch any of the old show. I could have just watched this and did a review. I went out of my way to watch about 26 episodes of the old show out of 65. There was 65. There was also like a Christmas special or something. So I watched all that old stuff. Not the whole thing. I didn't watch the whole show, but I watched just enough to get me where I need to be to understand the show. Something tells me that these 95% of people who gave it that much of a score, those people did not watch this show. I am convinced they didn't even watch one episode of the original He-Man. Not one episode. So yeah, guys, I'm giving it an absolute 3 out of 10. It really is that bad. There's no review bombing. It really is that bad. Okay? And there's 5 more episodes of this, so any male characters that exist, watch out. Kevin Smith's coming for you in the next 5 episodes. Peace out, everyone. Let me know your thoughts and comments in the fucking comment section down below. Like the video, share the video, subscribe. Thank you very much. Have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.